My wife spoiled our daughter so much that she turned into a constant snitch, making my son miserable. When I refused to punish him for wanting space from her, my wife gave me the silent treatment, but what happened next changed our whole family. AITJ for not punishing my son because he doesn't want to be around his sister who constantly snitches on him? I, 38M, have 2 kids, Mark, 13M, and Lily, 11F. To give some context, Lily is really spoiled by my wife, Sarah, 37F. Ever since Lily was little, Sarah has been overly indulgent with her, letting her stay up late, buying her whatever she wants, and pretty much excusing all of her behavior, no matter what. It's made Lily feel entitled, especially when it comes to Mark. She doesn't have much respect for his privacy and constantly tattles on him for the smallest things, knowing her mom will take her side. At first, it was small stuff, Mark didn't make his bed, or Mark stayed up too late. But over time, it escalated. She started reporting anything that seemed even a little bit off. Mark didn't say hi to me when he got home, or Mark left his shoes in the hallway. It's like Lily has a mental list of everything Mark does wrong, and no matter how trivial, she'll run straight to Sarah to tell on him. Mark is 13 and, like most teens, values his privacy and independence. He spends time with his friends and is starting to navigate more personal parts of his life. But Lily, with her constant monitoring, makes it impossible for him to have any space. There's no escaping it. And the real breaking point for Mark came when Lily somehow found out about his crush on a girl at school. I honestly don't know how she found out. Mark didn't tell her, and he definitely didn't want her to know. He was on the phone with a friend, but Lily must have overheard something. The next thing he knew, Lily was making comments about it, like, "So, you like that girl, huh?" Mark was mortified. He hadn't shared that with anyone, let alone his 11-year-old sister. And then, of course, Lily went around telling all their friends at school. Mark felt completely humiliated. When Mark tried to talk to Sarah about it, she dismissed his feelings, telling him to stop being dramatic. That's when Mark decided he needed space. He couldn't take it anymore. So, he started avoiding Lily as much as possible. The issue really came to a head the other day. I came home from work and saw Mark sitting on the couch with Lily. They were watching a show, and I thought maybe they were getting along. But then I realized they were watching a show Lily liked, not one they both enjoyed. Lily was bossing Mark around about how he should be watching it or how he was sitting too far from the TV. Mark got frustrated and stormed off to his room. Lily, of course, immediately started crying, but it was so obviously fake. I could see right through it. She ran to Sarah, saying Mark was being mean to her, and that's when Sarah went upstairs to talk to Mark. I stopped her before she could go up, telling her I'd handle it. I went upstairs to check on Mark, and he finally opened up to me. He told me that it wasn't just about the show, it was everything. He couldn't trust Lily anymore because of her constant snitching and invading his privacy. He told me he was tired of being made to feel like he was in the wrong, no matter what he did. The final straw was Lily outing his crush to everyone at school. He said he couldn't have any peace or privacy when she was always watching him and reporting back to Sarah. Now, Mark is refusing to be around Lily. He's 13, and he deserves to have some space. But Sarah is pushing me to punish him for ignoring her, saying he's being mean to Lily by not spending time with her. She's even giving me the silent treatment now. She's upset that I'm not backing her up on this and that I'm not punishing Mark for not getting along with Lily. Every time I try to talk to her, she shuts down, won't engage, and just gives me the cold shoulder. Honestly, I'm feeling caught in the middle. I understand Sarah wants them to get along, but I don't think Mark should be forced to spend time with Lily if it's just going to be another situation where she invades his privacy and tattles on him. He needs boundaries, and he needs to be able to have a private life, especially as a teenager. But it feels like Sarah doesn't see it that way. She thinks I'm being too lenient with Mark and not holding him accountable. So, AITJ for not punishing my son for wanting space from his sister, especially after she found out about his crush and made it public, and after my wife started giving me the silent treatment? TLDR, my 13-year-old son, Mark, is constantly being tattled on by his 11-year-old sister, Lily, who's spoiled by my wife, Sarah. Lily invaded Mark's privacy by telling everyone about his crush, and now Mark is avoiding her. Sarah is upset, thinks I should punish Mark for not getting along with Lily, and is giving me the silent treatment. I don't think Mark should be punished for wanting space, but Sarah insists he's being mean to her. AITJ for not punishing him? Update: First, I want to thank everyone again for your comments, even the harsh ones. They made me take a long, hard look at this situation and realize just how much it's been affecting Mark and our family as a whole. I decided to have a serious conversation with Sarah about her favoritism toward Lily and how it's been hurting Mark. I explained how dismissing Mark's feelings and excusing Lily's behavior has created a toxic environment where Mark feels unsupported and disrespected. I brought up specific examples, like Lily outing his crush and how it humiliated him, and her constant tattling that makes him feel like he has no privacy. Unfortunately, the conversation didn't go as I hoped. Sarah completely denied showing favoritism and instead started doubling down, saying that Mark was just being a bad child and that his avoidance of Lily was mean and immature. She kept defending her actions, saying she's only trying to keep the peace and make them get along, but it was clear she wasn't willing to acknowledge her role in the problem. No matter how much I tried to stay calm and explain where I was coming from, she refused to see my point of view. Eventually, I realized we weren't getting anywhere, and I didn't want the conversation to escalate into a fight. So, I left the room and went upstairs to talk to Mark instead. When I got to Mark's room, I sat down with him and told him the truth, that I love him and that I know things have been unfair to him. I admitted that I haven't done enough to protect him from the situation with his mom and sister, and I promised him that I'm going to do better. I told him I see how much he's been hurting and that his feelings are valid, even if not everyone in the house is acknowledging them right now. Mark seemed surprised but relieved. He told me how much it's been weighing on him and how alone he's felt lately. It broke my heart to hear how much he's been holding in, but I reassured him that he's not alone and that I'm in his corner. I told him I'd work on fixing the issues with Sarah and Lily, but in the meantime, I'm going to make sure he feels supported and respected. I know this is only the beginning, and it's going to take time and effort to fix what's been broken. But I refuse to let Mark feel like he's second best in his own home anymore. He deserves better, and I'm committed to giving him that. Thank you again for giving me the push I needed to start making changes. I'll try and keep you all updated. Many of you guys have been telling me to take Mark and leave and get a divorce, but I am scared of divorce because I live in California and I searched it up. Everything is split 50-50ths and I'm not even in a good financial state right now with my wife spending on herself and Lily. Tonight I'll talk to my wife and have her ultimatum. If she does not agree to treat Mark fairly and punish Lily correctly, then we will have a divorce, but still I might not go that way since, as I said before, I don't want to split 50-50ths since I'm in a bad financial state. Can you guys please tell me a way to take care of this? And I don't even have enough money for a good lawyer. I've been reading through all the feedback and really taking it to heart. This whole situation has made me realize just how unfair things have been for Mark, and I knew I couldn't keep ignoring it. So, I sat Sarah down for another serious conversation. I told her straight up, this can't keep going the way it has. Mark deserves to feel safe and respected in his own home, and Lily needs to be held accountable for her behavior. I really tried to get through to her, to make her see how much this was hurting our son. But she just got defensive. She kept insisting that I was overreacting, that Mark was just being difficult, and that I was the one playing favorites. I told her this wasn't about taking sides, it was about making sure both of our kids were treated fairly. But no matter what I said, she wasn't willing to listen. Things got heated. She accused me of turning against our daughter and making her out to be a villain. I told her that wasn't true, but that Lily's behavior couldn't just be brushed off anymore. Sarah refused to see it that way. After going in circles, she finally snapped, packed a few things, and left the house, taking Lily with her. She didn't say where she was going, just that she needed a break from all of this. Honestly, that night with Mark was the most peaceful one we've had in a long time. We ordered pizza, watched movies, and just hung out. I could actually see the stress lift off his shoulders. He laughed, he joked around, and for the first time in weeks, he wasn't walking on eggshells. That hit me hard. I didn't realize just how much he'd been carrying until I saw what he was like when he didn't have to. Sarah came back the next day, but she hasn't spoken to me since. She's been giving me the cold shoulder, and Lily is following her lead, acting like Mark and I are the bad guys. Later that evening, Lily came to me. She seemed hesitant but finally said, "Mom is mad at you. Why are you favoring Mark over me?" That question stung because it showed just how deep this problem runs. I took a deep breath and told her, "Lily, I'm not favoring Mark over you. I love you both. But sometimes, when things aren't fair, we have to fix them. Mark has been feeling really hurt, and I need to make sure he's okay too. That doesn't mean I love you any less." She didn't say much after that, just looked at me, clearly thinking. I don't know if I got through to her, but at least she listened. It's tense, and honestly, I don't know where things are going from here. But I do know one thing, I'm not going to let Mark feel like he's second best in his own home anymore. I can't force Sarah to change, but I can make sure my son knows he's not alone in this. I'll keep you all updated on what happens next. Over time, things started to shift in small, unexpected ways. Without Sarah constantly stepping in, I found myself connecting more with Lily. We'd talk, play games, and slowly, I began to understand her better. Beneath all the behavior was just a kid trying to be seen and heard in her own way. As Lily and I grew closer, she and Mark began to reconnect. It wasn't some dramatic reconciliation, just small, simple moments. They'd joke around, share snacks, and little by little, the tension between them eased. Watching them laugh together again felt like something we'd all been missing. But Sarah noticed. Instead of feeling relieved, she grew more distant, like she was watching something slip away. The silence between us stretched, thick and uncomfortable. Then, one evening, it all boiled over. We were in the living room, me, Mark, and Lily, just talking and laughing about something trivial. Sarah walked in, her face tight with frustration. Without much warning, she exploded, yelling, accusing me of turning the kids against her. She started throwing things, a lamp, some books, shouting that no one in the house cared about her, that she was the villain in her own family. It was overwhelming. I stayed calm, trying to get her to talk instead of shout, but she was too far gone in that moment. Eventually, she stormed out, slamming the door behind her, saying she was done with all of us. Since that night, the house has been quiet, peaceful, even. Mark and Lily are closer than ever, and while things aren't perfect, there's a sense of calm we didn't have before. I don't know what's next with Sarah. Maybe she'll come back, maybe she won't. But for now, I'm focusing on Mark and Lily, on being the parent they need, on making sure they feel heard and supported. Thanks to everyone who offered advice and perspective. It helped me more than I can say.